The clients have revolted. They want their dynamic IP addressing. Now, hopefully you've gone in and launched your virtual lab interface using the web link and you're waiting for it to load. If not, please do so and let me walk through the instructions while we're waiting for that to come up. A network auditor has recently found that the devices in your network were statically assigned, gasp, due to the recent hashtag DHCP Love social movement. All devices are demanding dynamic addressing. Oh, geez. So configure the network card of PC10 to use dynamic addressing. But since there is no DHCP services, it should soon generate a 169.254 IP address. Then I want to go to Core 1 Layer 3 switch. That's this guy right there, where it has all of the routed interfaces that are being used for this environment. And I want to configure it as a DHCP server with these parameters. Once we've done that successfully, we can verify PC10 is receiving an IP address from that pool as expected, and we might need to push it along using ipconfig renew, verify the IP to MAC mapping is stored in the binding table. Sound good? Good. Now, as usual, this is where I want you to hit the pause button and actually try this yourself. That's where all of the learning is going to happen. I hope you get stuck in a way, because that's where you really have to push through, learn. And if you just can't figure it out, I'm going to do a walkthrough right after the pause that shows how to get this set up correctly. So I'll flip back. Ready, set, pause. All right. If you're still with me, I'm going to erase all this stuff out of here, and let's start off with step number 1. We're going to go over to PC number 10. There we go. PC number 10, which is this guy right here. We'll get logged in, open up the control panel. There's many ways to assign an IP address or change it to dynamic. This is the way that I've always found fastest. Bring up the properties. Alt-Enter, by the way, is your shortcut that you don't even have to right-click. Flip it all over to obtain automatically. OK, OK, OK. Should be able to open a command prompt, CMD, ipconfig, and bam, it's blank. Give it a few seconds, hit the up arrow a couple times, and we should, there we go. It can't find a DHCP server, so it automatically generated a 169.254 address. Awesome. So now we'll go in and we'll set up a DHCP server on Core 1. So let's hop back over to there. DC Nug, Core 1. And first thing we're going to do is go into global configuration mode. Now let's look at the parameters. We've got this network, this gateway, this DNS, excluded addresses. You want to make sure you do those first, even though they're at the bottom of the list, because Cisco DHCP Services doesn't allow you to go in and say, well, just hand out this range. You actually say hand out the whole network, but then you exclude what you don't want to hand out in global config mode. Cool. So we'll go back here. IP DHCP excluded address, and we're going to exclude from 10.16.1 through 25. 10.16.0.1 through 10.16.0.25. So the first address handed out should be 26. Now we can go in and create our DHCP pool and put those parameters in there. So we'll do IP DHCP pool. And we'll do, why not, DHCP Love. Hashtag DHCP Love. All right, so then we'll go inside of here and do a network 10. And then let's go with 10.16.0.0. We'll do a /24. We'll do default router. That's how we assign the default gateway. Default router 10.16.0.1. And DNS of 888 primary and 4222 secondary. So we'll do DNS server 8.8.8.8 question mark 4.2.2.2.2 enter. And good. Let's head over to the client PC and let's see if some magic has happened. Nope. So we'll try ipconfig /renew. Waiting. Breath is held. Any moment now. Waiting. Oh, there we go. We've got 10.16.0.26 as the address handed out. There's the gateway. Let's do, we can either do an NS lookup. And it will, well, actually, since there is no internet, it'll just kind of hang there. So I'll do ipconfig/all, and we should see the 2 DNS servers that we've selected being handed out. I don't know what it is. There's just something wrong. I always like having a DNS suffix. By the way, that is what allows you to do what's called a search domain. So let's head back over here, and I'm going to go into global config mode. We'll do, this is not part of the lab. It's just my thing. So we'll do domain name, and we'll do DHCPlove.com. Don't go to that. I don't know what's there. So we'll exit back out of there, go over to the client PC, do an ipconfig/renew. Let's see if it'll just overwrite it if it gets that in there. There we go. DHCPlove.com is the DNS suffix that is that being applied. So now if I were to do a ping, Jeremy, it would put jeremy.dhcplove.com as the thing to ping. So last thing. Let's check the bindings. I'm going to come back over here to the switch, and we'll do a show IP DHCP binding, and we should see, yep. You can see this is the IP address. Ooh, little known fact. I think I mentioned this in one of the lectures, the video and the skill. Cisco formats this a little odd, right? So what this is it's the hardware address, which is the MAC address of this client, plus the client ID. All Ethernet clients have a client ID of 01. So for just about everybody, you'll see 01, and then this is actually their MAC address. A common mistake is to think these last two is something bogus. It's not. It just looks funny because all the dots are in the wrong place. This is the bogus part at the beginning, the 01. If you were to go over here to the client and look at that output of ipconfig/all, you can see that its MAC address is right there. Just look at those last four, 8899. Jump back here, right there, 88.99. So that's where that's coming in. But we have verified on VLAN 10, this guy is handing out IP addresses. DHCP services are configured. I hope this has been informative for you, and I'd like to thank you for viewing.